Are you feeling exhausted at work, and no matter how much time off you are taking to rest, you don't feel like you are recovering? And maybe this exhaustion is making you to avoid social interactions and you are feeling more lonely than ever. Harvard Business Review, they analyzed a survey that was conducted in 2016, and they found that comparing with 20 years ago, people today, they feel twice more likely to feel exhausted. 50% of these people, they mentioned that the exhaustion comes from the workplace, which is an increase of 32% comparing with 20 years ago. They also found that there might be a correlation between work exhaustion and feeling lonely, where they identified that the more exhausted you feel in the workplace, the more lonely you feel as well. And this goes me to the first point in recognizing burnout, which is feeling exhausted all the time. If you drag yourself out of the bed in the morning, or you feel like you don't have any energy to do anything during the day, you might feel exhausted. And when you are exhausted, some of the body symptoms that you might have can be headaches or feeling difficult to concentrate, daydreaming, or blurry vision. And you probably already tried meditation or taking time off, and you notice that nothing of these things are working. And I know how it feels and how frustrating it is, but no matter how much time you spend meditating or taking time off to rest, that will not solve your exhaustion. Because exhaustion in the workplace happens when you are allowing people to come into your personal space whenever they want and do whatever they want. To give you an example, imagine like you are renting an apartment and you are letting everyone to come in your apartment and design it the way they want. It means that whenever you come back home, the apartment looks totally different and you cannot find anything in that apartment. And you'll probably not recognize that place like being your own anymore. And the same thing happens in the workplace as well. If you are constantly allowing people to come into your personal area without setting any boundaries, at some point you'll feel exhausted. And by meditating more or taking time off, those things will not solve the problem, because when you come back at work, you'll continue allowing people to come into your personal space. And I have a video where I go more deep into discussing about this subject and how you can protect your personal area, so go and check this one out after watching this video. The second thing to be aware of when it comes to recognizing burnout in the workplace is to notice if you are experiencing cynicism. Cynicism occurs when you are having a negative outlook on everything that is happening around you in the workplace. No matter how nice your coworkers are, or if you had a great day, or if you completed your work, it doesn't matter what's happening around you, you are constantly focusing on problems and you have a negative thinking. When you are experiencing cynicism, some of the symptoms that you might have is that you are constantly having negative thoughts. Maybe you are not present anymore, maybe you are gossiping more than before, or maybe you are having conflictual thoughts with yourself and other people around you. I've done a lot of research on this topic, and some of the solutions that I read about says to try to focus on the things that you love doing at work, or surrounding yourself with people that you like to interact with. And probably you already tried all these things and you notice that none of them are working. And I know that it can be very frustrating to go to work and don't find anything that you enjoy doing. From my own experience, the advice that I have here is to try to detach from the workplace and try to find something that has more meaning to you. And the first question that you can ask yourself is, why are you going to work every single day? And if the answer is money, the paycheck that you are receiving at the end of the month, that's totally perfect. Start with that and then try to build on top of it and find something that has more meaning to you. Let's assume that money is the reason why you are going to work. The next question that you can ask yourself is, why do you want to make more money? Maybe it is to provide for your family. Why do you want to provide for your family? Maybe because you love them. What is gonna happen if you cannot provide for your family anymore? Maybe you are gonna lose them one day. Try to go deep down and answer these questions, being open and self-reflect on why it is important to go to work for you every single day, and what brings that money, that satisfaction, or whatever it is important to you. By doing this self-reflection, you'll connect yourself with a purpose, with a meaning that it is more than money and it is more than going to work every single day. And once you identified what is important to you, I want you to write it down. You can use a sticky note or write it down on your phone, but I want you to have it with you every single day when you go to work. Whenever you find yourself going into the negative state, or gossiping more, or looking for problems instead instead of solutions, I want you to take out that sticky note or open your phone and read that sentence that you wrote down. Because that sentence that you wrote down, it is the reason why you are going to work every single day. And by finding that meaning that it is important to you, you will be focusing more on finding solutions rather than staying in a negative state. Because remaining in that negative state will not help you to be connected to that purpose, that meaning that you just identified for yourself. The third thing when it comes to recognizing burnout in the workplace is when you feel a lack of accomplishment. No matter how much work you complete or the positive feedback that you are receiving, or maybe you are escalating on the corporate ladder, none of these are important to you. You are not feeling accomplished, or maybe you are feeling even worse where you are saying to yourself that you are useless. And some of the symptoms that you are experiencing are the imposter syndrome, or maybe you are feeling like you are not belonging in the workplace. And most of the time you don't feel accomplished when your values and the work commitments, they are not aligned. In other words, what you want to do and what you are actually doing at work, they are not aligned. If you find yourself in this type of situation, I invite you to take a piece of paper and write down everything that you don't like in the workplace. Because most of the time what happens is that we know what we don't want, but we don't spend time to think about the things that we want. So take a piece of paper, write down everything that you don't like in the workplace, and then for each thing, try to find something that you will enjoy instead. Once you have that list, create a list with all the tasks that you have to do on a daily basis. And then looking at these two lists, try to identify which tasks you don't like to do at work and which tasks you like to do. Because the tasks that you like to do represents the values that you have, the things that you want to do, and then the tasks that you don't want to do are the work commitments that don't bring you joy or fulfillment in the workplace. And if you have more tasks that you don't want to do than the tasks that you want to do, then you have the answer why you are constantly feeling unfulfilled in the workplace. And the advice that I have here is to try to see if there are any opportunities in the workplace where you will be able to do more tasks that you like doing. These are the three most common reasons why we get burnout in the workplace, and knowing to recognize those will help us to prevent it. Because you cannot prevent burnout if you don't know how to recognize it, and you cannot recognize it if you don't know yourself. Making this self-reflection and understand your own patterns and how you react to certain situations can help you to reduce the stress in the workplace and prevent burnout in the future. I'd love to hear more from you in the comments down below which of these three areas resonated more with you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.